Hey guys, welcome to another English commentary done by Diggity. This is going to be the last match of Group D, the final match. If you haven't seen the rest, go watch it. This is going to be between FireBatHero and Hwasin on Loki II. Hwasin starting in white in the upper right-hand corner, FireBatHero in the bottom left-hand corner in orange. Unfortunately, I already did the first I've seen the first 8 minutes of this match. So I already know what's going to happen in the first 8 minutes, and I don't think I know the winner. I might though. We'll see. I'll get to commentating. I'm a bit tired at this point because I've done a lot of commentaries today. Been doing a lot of running around. Tried to get to the UCSD tournament that both ran in Korean and Xerus were in. I think I'm going to be doing commentary on some of those matches. I hope Random won it because I really want to do the victory match for him. Do a replay of it. We'll see though. Anyway, FireBatHero plays for Samsung Khan. He's really known for kind of being the anti-savior. Interesting picture there of Hwasin. My guess is that's going to be a FireBatHero promotional of him, like in the flames. Who knows? No, actually, Flower's there, so who knows? He's also known as Hwasin. I know directly, translates to fire god or something like that, so maybe that's kind of the significance there. Not sure what the little bug ears were about, though. Anyway, Hwasin, let me talk about him. He hasn't been playing fantastically lately. I'm disappointed, though, that he knocked out Zelos, but really I would not be disappointed to see him advance. And I think he should advance over FireBatHero for my own selfish reasons, mostly the fact that Savior's not in it, and FireBatHero is known for taunting and being kind of the nemesis, the villain to Savior. And right now an SCV going out, it's a really early scout from FireBatHero. Maybe he's doing some cheese, but I kind of suspect not, because he had that supply depot out. And I'm going to continue with, because that was the exact same call I made the last time in the first 8 minutes. But, in fact, what's actually going to happen here, I'm going to show my amazing predictive powers. Oh, Barracks out front. And for a second here, basically, we'll see what this Barracks is in a minute. This is my theory, and I want someone to do this in a game on Loki II on iCup or whatever. I want you to build this Barracks at the far right-hand corner, and I want you to lift it off and drop it in the I'm going to give you a cheese build here. I want you to lift it off and drop it in the protected expansion and build Marines from there. Because Hwasin right here is going to take that protected secondary, but I guarantee that you're going to win. If you do it like 1 out of 3 times, I think you're going to pull it off 1 out of 3 times. Build one barracks in your base, the other barracks out in the field, take your gas simultaneously. They're not going to see they're not going to realize that second barracks is out because of the distance, especially if they fast expand on the unprotected. In the meantime, you're going to be able to build a lot of Marines in their protected expansion and just push them up. And I wish I could read Curing, because it'd be fun to see what that said. Anyway, but that is not, in fact, what FireBatHero is doing. FireBatHero has actually been really aggressive lately. We've seen him do a lot of pushing, basically harasses right off expansions. Looks like Hwasin's trying to pseudo-seals front door. That SCV of FireBatHero is going to go in and pretend like it's just doing its normal scout, and probably going to come back and play a vital role in a Marine harass. Factory going up in the meantime for FireBatHero. The other advantage having that barracks out there is he's going to be a lot closer to get that scout in a lot faster. So just in case information is denied off a seal, he's going to be able to get it. And continuing to try to harass. Now this first Marine's coming out, so he's bringing it up to join the Marine, to protect the Marine against that SCV. A nice little block by FireBatHero there against the ramp, make sure the SCV couldn't get around. Hwasin and another SCV coming up. I expect Hwasin to be able to deal with this pretty easily. Just needs to get that Marine out. Maybe it looks like he's putting down a bunker, actually. He's going to put down a bunker and rely on that. In the meantime, I'm going to try to push up with the SCV. He's going to lose an SCV there. But honestly, this isn't going to cost him too much because he did go for that fast expand. Really, that'll just even up the match. And pulling out a Marine a little too far out there. Looks like it has a single hit. Now, just waiting for that bunker to go up. And 3 Marines up now. And FireBatHero being very clever, going up and protecting and managing to take that Marine out before it got in the bunker. But immediately another Marine out. So now FireBatHero, basically that proxy rush. I'm sorry, yeah, that proxy rush. He's more or less failed. Going to bring up a Vulture as well. But basically bought him time to expand. I don't know if he realizes. He's going to realize in a second that protected expansion is in fact up. Guy hiding his face this time behind a message. Interesting. And so that protected expansion's up, so FireBatHero not going to have too much of an advantage here off that harass. He did do a little bit of damage, but he's going to be economically behind. Factory now up, but technologically ahead, so we'll see. Putting down the machine shop there as well. And now looks like a Vulture. You can hear the sound of the Vulture right there taking out an SCV. I think Hwasin had that SCV out at the secondary. And it looks like Hwasin's building a building at the far north, also putting down his machine shop. lifted off his barracks for a second and brought it back down. And he has kind of an SCV hanging out there. It looks like he's building a starport. And we'll see. I think it would be interesting if he went dropship, a really quick dropship to siege. Doesn't look like he's upgrading anything. Doesn't look like he's building anything there either. The Marines being pulled back from FireBatHero, obviously they're not going to be able to do anything for a bit. And in the meantime, gas going down at the secondary, at the unprotected secondary. But I think a drop could be really interesting from FireBatHero, or I'm sorry, from Hwasin. If he went early drop instead of that early Wraith, I think FireBatHero will be easily be able to take care of a Wraith from his position currently. I mean, he's already halfway tech there. A couple Marines attacking that barracks that was floating out to get kind of a spot in the base, and we'll see. Actually, I don't think that's going to end up on fire. Single tank being produced there. Vulture pushing up. Vulture's taken out, but it's going to stop that supply depot going up for a second. Managing to take out another SCV. And he's not going to see that starport to the far north, but I think he's going to suspect that that starport's coming because he doesn't see the second factory, and he knows that that second base is up. So really, when you see only a single factory off two bases, you got to suspect something along those lines. Supply depot going up in the background as well, and my guess is that's just going to be for defensive purposes in the near future, make it a little more difficult to drop. So the barracks is now going to be chased off. We'll see a FireBatHero. Yeah, he's got those two factories going, both with machine shops. Yeah, and he realizes he's got both the academy and the armory going. And at full production here in the meantime out of that natural expansion. Hwasin in the meantime opening up his front door, taking out the bunker. So he might be thinking about expanding once again. And it looks like I don't see the cloak upgrade happening on the control tower, but my guess is he probably is going to produce a Wraith there. And as you guys know, I already did the first 8 minutes, but I'm trying to do the exact same calls I did before, just so you guys know. So I'll tell you right out, yeah, it's a Wraith. Surprise, it's a Wraith. It's been a long day, so I'll just throw it out there for you guys. Stop jerking you around. So the Wraith going to go push up, and we'll see how effective it'll be in its harassment. At the very least, it'll kind of act a lot like a Corsair. It'll give him a lot of scouting information. A couple tanks pushing up now. 3 tanks, three Marines, but obviously Hwasin. It looks like mine's upgrading, so we'll see a FireBatHero. It looks like he might want to do an economy harass. Hwasin checking the secondary. It looks like that's where he really wanted. He wanted to go harass that secondary. He realizes that tech is up, so he can't really stay all that long. He sees that starport going up, going to try to get a couple hits in on the SCVs out here at the natural secondary, unprotected secondary, I should say, and a Goliath out in the field. So we'll see if FireBatHero brings that Goliath back, or if he's just going to defend it at the front. Doing a good job. Hwasin doing a very good job bringing that SCV back around, or sorry, that Wraith back around to kind of get away from that Goliath. FireBatHero, interestingly enough, the offset 9 o'clock position, going to expand there instead of taking his protected secondary. I guess he didn't want to have it spotted by this Wraith. Doesn't look like it was spotted yet, but my guess is as soon as he brings this Wraith back, he's going to see it. There's no way he could miss that. Yeah, bringing the Wraith back around, might be able to take that SCV, but no, going to be engaged by that Goliath right there, so going to basically be sent back to Hwasin's base. Did enough scouting, so probably better bring it back to the front. And now there's that dropship. Keep in mind there's that dropship out. Still Wraith out in the field though, and Wraiths are very good for anti-dropship and things like that. Looks like FireBatHero lost a Marine out in the field. Is going to pull back now, realizing that the 4 kind of outnumbered 4 tanks, 3 SCVs, and I think he was a little worried about losing. Let's see if he's a little bit worried about losing that barracks. If he loses that barracks, obviously he's going to be halted from building a lot more factories. And oh, FireBatHero going to engage this Wraith, and yeah, he didn't get it back in time. That Wraith going to go down. Okay, now we're at the point where I haven't seen the rest of the match, so entirely fresh from here. And a FireBatHero looks like he's got a couple more units out in the field, and it looks like he's going to do a drop, probably on that protected secondary. I'm not sure all of it. It looks like he got a couple Marines in there. Might have gotten a Goliath in there. And oh, Hwasin immediately going to go for that 9 o'clock expansion. FireBatHero going to have to take it off, but looks like it's going to be a straight base exchange. Going to push up, but it looks like Hwasin actually winning this engagement. Already had reinforcements going to bring that back to engage that force. So FireBatHero now pulling back with that drop. I'm surprised he didn't actually commit with that. I think what he's going to do is he's just going to drop over those tanks in the background. Actually, no, he's just going to gather up the force, going to replace it with the tank, replace the Marines with the tank, and push up again. Let's see. He's got an SCV in the background, interestingly enough, and it looks like Hwasin has 2 dropships up, and he's got definitely, as you can see, a decent production advantage. Already setting up his additional factories, already starting to pump out the dropships. He has 3 expansions up. He's got all 3 expansions up. here now at this point, and so he's definitely beating FireBatHero, and that's why I was kind of really I'm surprised FireBatHero went for that outward expansion, because he basically gave Hwasin that the kind of the economic advantage at this point. Though he does have a lot of units on the ground, so he's not too worried. It looks like he's floating it out. I'm not sure. He's floating it out towards the middle of the map instead of otherwise, and now he's going to try to drop all over these incoming forces. Being caught, though, out of siege position. Going to use the Goliath to try to shield against the siege initially. Still a lot of units in that dropship, though, so he needs to be careful. Let's see if he targets the dropships now with those Goliaths. I really feel like that would be the best use of that. Instead, loading up the Goliaths now, so he's going to be able to drop over these tanks. I'm going to drop one there first, take care of that. Kind of like Zealot Bombs, but with Goliaths. Not taking him out, and that's going to force those to unsiege. But yeah, he can unsiege them, really, though, because he doesn't want to lose position on those tanks. So basically, those tanks are just a loss. FireBatHero now going to move some of those SCVs out to his new expansion. He decided to take the 6 o'clock expansion instead, and another drop coming in. So taking both his he's going to try to make another economic advantage. I think at 12 o'clock, we also see Hwasin expanding. He realizes he has a mobility advantage with both the production and mobility advantage. I'm sorry, FireBatHero also has 3. Going to go for another drop on the on that protected expansion. Some turrets just being built, but they're not going to be down in time. He is going to be able to drop all over that backside. SCV is going to have to come along. It looks like this will even up the economy for FireBatHero versus Hwasin. Hwasin's going to have to be forced to take this drop and take care of these forces. So very successful.